Yeah, I'm so glad you're all here, and I have something today that I've been thinking about. Is that we tend to use either two or three. Uh, uh, we use either the second finger or the third finger in our finger position, and we use a whole lot of second finger, whenever we have an extended finger, like this. So, like for instance, as soon as we need to reach two whole steps, we have a whole step here and a whole step over here, okay? And the third finger gets kind of left out. Now, bass players, they leave out their third finger all the time until they get really high up on the fingerboard. But we get to actually use ours. In violin and viola playing, they use a finger for every single note. So, like, they think of every single letter name as its own finger. And we sometimes get confused because we say, like, oh, what's a C natural? What's a C sharp? Over here, here's a C natural, or here's an F natural, here's an F sharp, right? And when do you use the second finger as opposed to a third finger? It gets kind of confusing. So what I'd like to do is work on finger dexterity between all of the fingers, okay? And then we'll work on a piece and work on some other stuff. The improvisation specifically. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to be able to go up and down with all four fingers. And we're going to start just in the first position on an E, F, F sharp, G. Try that out. I need just 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's kind of a weird one, I gotta admit. Makes the fingers sort of rebalance a little bit. And I want all the fingers to sound just alike. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll say, like, oh, I need a metronome, and I'm going to turn the microphone over here, and I'm going to start up a metronome click, and this way my fingers actually have to do exactly what I tell them to do. So here is a click, and so the first thing I'll do is, if you hear that click on here, then what I do is this. Well, you try that with this click that you hear. Just play along with the click that you hear on this one. That's a little bit louder. This is 131 beats a minute. Okay. Okay. Now let's try twice as fast, which is to say, like, eighth notes against this. Go ahead and try that. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, da, da. Now, if that's a little, raise your hand if that's too fast. Okay, no problem. So what I'll do now is let me head back just a little bit, and we're gonna do eighth notes at 100. Okay, so I'm dropping it back about 25%. And see if you can play just along with me. Now, just to bring back everybody else, let's do quarter notes at this tempo. Nice. And then each finger should come down just like a little hammer. Okay. So now when we go back back into eighth notes. Da dee da dee da dee. 1, 2, 3. Da, 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 da. Now you can also do them separate or two. Ready? Okay. Now we have variations on that in that you can also do this within an extended fingering. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing E, F sharp, second finger, F double sharp, really, third finger, and then G sharp, fourth finger. Or you can think of it as E, F sharp, G, A flat, and you have what's called a diminished third. Each one is a half step, but it's a third away. So we can have an F sharp here, and an F double sharp, or an F sharp and a G sharp, or we can have an F, let's see here, F sharp, F double sharp, G sharp, or we can have A flat, G, G flat. Okay, we can name these a whole bunch of different ways. But probably the easiest way would be E, F sharp, G, and A flat on your fourth finger. But because we always think of it in terms of a finger, we can't really do that composer way of thinking about it. I recommend thinking about it in terms of an F sharp, F double sharp, and G sharp because we're within the same hand position. Okay, but every once in a while you will get this A flat, G, F sharp business. You know. You've heard music like that, where it's a da 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 da, right? And so what is working in there is that you have a third, and the second is in the middle, and they're all half steps, so it's a diminished third. A little bit small, a little bit larger would be a minor third. So let's try this. And this is E, F sharp, G, A flat, E, F sharp, F double sharp, G sharp, F double sharp, F sharp. Okay, so two ways to really think about it. And it's an extended, and the first finger stays right back towards your ear or your cheek. Good. Now I'm going to double it. Ready? Now, yeah, this is good. Those of you who are interested, would you like to do triple? Ready? Let's try it with the non-extended. So this is just E, F, F sharp, G. Ready? 2, 3, and 4. And I find the best way to do this at home is with a metronome, or maybe even you might have like a drum machine at home, or some kind of a fun little beat processor. I know I've got a ton of those. I mean, like, I'm Mr. Music, but you might have a step sequencer that just does beats. You know, you can find those pretty easily for iOS. And that just makes it kind of fun because it might give a and you might be playing along with something like that, and then that makes it fun for practice. Okay, and I do that for my solo pieces as well. Box suites, anything like that. I'll put some kind of break beat, some kind of reggae beat with it, and swing beat, and just to sort of like make it fun and interesting. But are you ready? Let's do the extended finger at triplets. Aha! Ready, 2, 3, and up, and and then back to normal. Good. And let's go to back to doubles. Now it'll feel really weird to have both a second finger and a third finger running at the same time, won't it? But it'll come in really handy if you ever play up here and suddenly it's like, oh, my second and third finger are very different things. What? Next, there's an exercise, and it's the one that some of you may have heard when you logged in a little early, and that is this Kosman exercise. What it does is I go one, I start on any note. I'm going to start on a G. Okay, so it's a G, third position on the D string. We're getting a lot of D string mileage today. But anyway, I'm starting on a G. I'm going to turn off this metronome for just a second. Then I go 1, 4, 3, 4, non-extended. Okay, let's all try that. On the G. 1, 4, 3, 4, 1, 4, 3, 4. And it's related to this one, this Carol of the Bells. But I'm just doing 1, 4, 3, 4, 1, 4, 3, 4, 1. Okay? Yeah. Now, this is something that I do as a warm-up, just to make sure that my fingers are sort of working, and it also forces me to have a nice long bow. And I try to use the whole bow to get myself there. And it doesn't really matter. Then the next one is I do a 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 4. Try that one. 1, 4, 2, 4. I'll slow it down. So it's a 1, 4, 2, 4. Specifically G, B flat, A flat, B flat. I'm so proud of you all for taking part in this. It's super dynamite. Great. So now the next one is that we're going to go to a 1, 3, 2, 3. Now I would think of this as G, A, G sharp, A. Another way to spell it would be, get this, G, B double flat, A flat. Okay. Now, what I do next is I substitute. I substitute these two fingers that are 2 and 3, and I shift down a half step so that they are now 3 and 4. And then this first, it's like this first, the whole hand shifts down a half step. So I go, ready, shift, and this is an exercise by a cellist, famous cellist pedagogue and soloist named Kosman, Kosmann, maybe 2 N's, maybe 1 N. So now I've got F sharp, A, G, A, F sharp, A, G sharp, A. Okay? And then I do 4 of each. Then I go. Then I shift down. So that's the glue, is that the 2, 3 suddenly in my shift down becomes a 3, 4. So let's all try that, and I'm going to put it with a metronome. And I'm going to put it with a metronome, and I'm going to start on this G again. Okay. Oh, actually, I'm going to start on an A. Let's move up to 4th position. That's the easy one to do. I'm going to do A, C, B, C, and then A, C, B flat, C, and then A, C flat, B flat, C. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do 4 of each, and I'm going to do it real slow. Okay, so much slower than we just did. And I'm going to put it with a click. Da 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 da. So you can play along with. Okay. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 4, 3, 4. 1, 4, 3, 4. 1, 4, 3, 4. 1, 4, 3, 4. Now 1, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. 1, 4, 2, 4. 1, 4, 2, 4. 1. Now switching. 1, 3, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Now 1, 4, 3, 4, 1, 4. Now this is like a G sharp. Now 1, 4, 2, 4. Good job, those dudes. Now 1, 3, 2, 3. Now switch down to 1, 4, 3, 4. Now 1, 4, 2, 4. Now this is the G where we started on. Now 1, 3, 2, 3. Okay. Who needs that? Who needs the slow-mo version? Anybody need the slow-mo version? You're all good, huh? Yeah? Or raise your hand if you need it. Feel free. I'm totally good for it. The slow-mo version I would be making half steps out of this. And then sometimes that's not bad. Now I'm going to go to 1, 4, 2. Right? Now, we can also go faster. So let's start on this F sharp. Okay? Let's do eighth notes. Ready? We're going to do 1, 4, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, and dun, 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 dun. This is 1, 4, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 3. Now 1, 4. Now 1, 4, 2, 4. 1. Let me do that again. Ready? Now switch 1, 3, 2, 3. Is it too fast? Anybody want to go faster? All right, here we go. Ready? I'm gonna start with the A again. We had somebody raise their hand, so we're gonna go fast. Ready? Now we're gonna go double still, like this fast. Sky's the limit on cello playing, by the way.
It
Anything
sounds kind of like
that can be played can be played by you. Yes? What?
It kind of sounds like Thunderstruck.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, we might as well learn a little Thunderstruck while we're here. So that's not the original key. AC/DC does it in E, so you won't be able to play with the recording. But if you do the two cellos version, they switch it into D minor from E minor, so they come down a whole step. I was trying to teach it to my students in the original key so they could play it with the album, with the AC/DC album, and that just does not work because you need an open string. And the way the guitarist does it, he uses the E open string to make that all work. So so what we need here is this. Now this is going to be A and C sharp and E. You can do it as a slur. Go ahead and try it. It's open. 1, C, 4. actually kind of a good shifting exercise now that I think about it. Let's do it in tempo. 2, 3, 4. Now, the next one is we're going to go to D and an F. Okay. This is like third position. Good. Now, we're going to go to fourth position, E and G. Do each one 4 times. And then I need to listen to that again. I think it's something along those lines. I'll check the recording. Yeah, work on that first bit though. And you can do that as well. The way that you get the sound to really work coming off the string is I pluck. So as I'm coming off onto an open string, I'll pluck the note off, and what that'll do is that will excite the string and allow it to play more clearly. So if I were to take my bow away from the hand, it would make this kind of a sound. And so my fingers actually do make quite a lot of noise, either going onto the string or coming off. Each one's a pluck. And what that does is it allows the notes to just really key in. Okay. So, I'm glad, Ivan, that you brought up Thunderstruck. This is really cool. Super dynamite. Okay, so what we need next is a scale. I'm taking orders, actually, on scales. We got up to 3 flats. Oh, we have not gotten to 3 sharps yet. We have not done an A major scale. Can we do an A major scale, or do we want to do a... Or do you want to just call something out that's been vexing? Go ahead and say it if there's a scale that is troubling. We can also have done it before. It's no problem. I'm just kind of curious because scales, we got to keep working on them. Anybody want to raise their hand and come up with a scale idea? All right then, I will make you all suffer through this. What is it? Where's my file? Oh well. Let me share up this file just as soon as I get it. Ready? Boom. Okay. There we go. All right, opening it up. Here we go. A major. All right. Let me just share the screen just for a second. Here we go. Okay, sharing up. And here we go. This probably looks a lot like your scales. All right, so I'm going to come down here to the sharps, 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 and we're going to come down to A major right over here. And then we're going to make you all big. 'Cause I love seeing you all here. Here's the top 2 lines. And we're going to cover up the other parts because that way you can see everybody. All right, rocking. All right, so on this one we're going to have this same extended. Oh, I'm glad we actually worked on this. So come back to E, and I need E, F sharp, G, A flat, or in this case, ready? E, F sharp, G, F double sharp, G sharp. Okay, and we can also treat this as E, F sharp, G natural, G sharp. Now let's go down to the A string. So I'm doing A, B, C natural, C sharp. Okay, and so over here on these little fingers, this is what we're going to extend right here. Okay, let's go with the let's go with the top fingering for today. There are two options. Generally, you'll be doing the lower fingering, but I'd like to do the harmonic. Let's take advantage of the harmonic, and then we'll go into fourth position and do the yeah. So these fingerings on top are the key. All right, so let's play this thing together. This is the A, and now stretch for the B, and now C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, fourth finger, A. Now we're going to go into a 1-3-4 normal fingering, and then third finger C sharp, fourth finger D, first finger E. Now stretch, second finger F sharp, fourth finger G sharp, and then third finger harmonic. Now we use the third finger instead of a fourth finger because the third finger is longer. Good. And I'm only touching it with that finger. Now I'm going to come back down, and it's going to be G sharp, F sharp 2, E 1, D 4, C sharp 3, B 1, open. Now we're going to stretch this, and G sharp 4, long, F sharp 2, E 1, D open, C sharp 4, B 2, and A 1. I just love playing cello, don't you? It's just like the best instrument in the world. Let's do this scale again, just a scotch faster. Ready? And here's A, 2, sharp 4, D open, F sharp 2, G sharp 4, then make it a little higher, La, and now A open, B 1, C sharp 3, D 4, E 1, F sharp 2, G sharp 4, and then slide up A 3 harmonic 3. There you go. Just touch it. There you go with your third finger. Your ring finger, as it were. Now we're going to come back down. Fourth finger G sharp. Good. F sharp 2. E 1. D 4. Sharp 3. B 1. A open. G sharp 4. F sharp 2. E 1. D open. C sharp 4, B 2, and A 1. Cool. Now let's do the 2-octave. Let's just see over here. The 2-octave arpeggios here. There we go. Coming down into 2, 3 sharps. It's this one. All right. Here we go. This will be look like this. If you ever play the Bach 6th Suite, it's got this really fun thing. Yeah. Oh, I've been learning on my 5-string cello, so it's a little bit. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. So here is the arpeggio. This involves no thumbs. All right, here we go. Ready? We're gonna do this real slow. And here's A. Stretch for C sharp. E1. Open A. Then I'm going to do second position, just like Thunderstruck. E4. And then I'm just going to slide up. Harmonic. Coming back down, 4th finger E. E, C sharp. And open A. Good. E. And C sharp. And A1. Okay, so that is the stuff for today. So here's the review. Kosman exercise. Do each one 4 times. And then this one. You know you can do it. You know you want to. What else are you going to do today, right? All right. So have yourselves a delightful and wonderful day. And I'll see you all tomorrow with more good stuff. Take care, y'all. All right.